I had it all back together. My nice new used rotors, the ones that I wrecked my ratchet on. I should have got the other one from the junkyard. This one's got a bit of scoring on it. But that isn't the problem. The problem is I put it all back together and the emergency brake doesn't work. I got new shoes. I took it all apart. It seems that you can't just change that mechanism. It's all one piece. The emergency brake applier that applies the emergency brake shoes inside the back brake drums is all one alloy cast piece. So I took it apart thinking, oh boy, I'm gonna have to go to the junkyard. Something broke inside there or wore out. But I don't think that's the case. I think how it works is the lever inside there, levers on this pin that's loose in the little piston, and I think that pin wasn't on the finger that goes through the backing plate. So we're going to try to put it together this time so that the pin goes into the little lever so that when you put on the emergency brake, this should eject. Zoop! There we go. Oh, here comes the choo-choo! There, that was simple. It was all greased up. Now I'll put the adjuster part back on the other side after I choo-choo! Wow. Level crossings. The one just up the road, Boomer Road, has no crossing arm. Put that back in there. Choo-choo! Put that back in there. This one doesn't move except when it adjusts. And we'll put the emergency shoes back on that are a nuisance. It's all one piece. We'll see if my emergency brake now works. That's why this side never worked, even though my drum was gouged. Let me tell you, that drum, choo-choo, that drum was gouged. Somebody drove with the emergency brake on, I'm sure. Here's the junk one. You can buy them from Rock Auto for 12 bucks, 20 bucks. Oh yeah, this one's even cracked. Junk. Compared to that one. Nice and thick. Not beat up. That to this. Much better shape. Genuine GM2. All greased up. I don't know why I bothered. Nothing rusts around here. Should have got a better one though. That one's a little gouged. It'll do. Doesn't really matter. So I'll put the shoes, shoe, back on. Shoe, shoe. Just like one would say to Donald Trump. Shoe, shoe. You winner. Yep, he was the winner. And BS got beat out by HC. How does one get this back in? There's probably a trick to it. I've done it a couple times. Ding! Index that. Index this. Make sure it's behind the clip on the top. Zip! One side goes there. And one side. Whoops! Choo-choo! These are the parts I don't like showing on YouTube. Gets me thinking of those four-letter words. Gosh darn. Hullabaloo. There we go. Still behind the clip on top. Make sure it's indexed. There's a little indexing indentations in the pin. Now, when I apply the emergency brake, right there, it should make the shoes move if the pin is properly located. I'll go jump in the vehicle and see what happens if the emergency shoes expand. Internal expanding brakes. Yep, I can feel pedal head. Significant resistance. Never properly installed. Now I can release it, put the drum back on. The drum inside a disc. Bing, bing. Drum inside a disc. What a great idea. I'll put my rotor back on. When I apply the emergency brake, the pedal should only go down halfway, maybe. Yep. Well, it still goes to the floor, but it encounters significant resistance. All it is a little 1/8 inch pin. Yep. I think I got it. Yep. Before, that lever would move all the way through its arc of travel. And now it only moves a few degrees. Watch, I'll show you. I'll release it, and then I'll reapply it. And that lever should only move 10, 20, 30 degrees. Before it was moving 75, 90 degrees. Release, apply. Release, apply. There. I wonder if the other side, the driver's side, is working properly. A friend of mine is looking for a GTO. He found a 64. Yeah, a little bit of Bondo. Factory correct, tri-power, 4-speed, hardtop. 64, first year. Scrape. I said, buyer beware, buddy. The guy keeps coming down on his price. It's got some Bondo. How much? How's the frame? Emergency brakes on the clunk. Here goes the rotor. Emergency brakes on the top on this side. I'll have to view it by myself because you can't see a thing in here. I just discovered something else that I goofed on the other side. The caliper has an anti-rattle clip for the caliper holder built in to the backing plate. And I thought it would work better on the bottom even though it was on the top. So I put it on the bottom on the other side, and that's a problem. It's not symmetrical. I stuck it in its little place, and I noticed that it rubs. I think. I don't know, maybe not. It looks symmetrical. Maybe it's because the rotor was loose. No, not rubbing. Does it go on the top or the bottom? You'd think it would go on the bottom to kind of hold the pads up. These pads aren't that great. I'll have to go to the junkyard and get some better ones. They both have wear indicators. Both. I'm going to put that on the bottom even though it was on the top. I'm thinking it should have two. Let it have a rattle, rattle, rattle. Maybe when I go to the junkyard, I'll get, those are always lying on the ground, I'll get one for either side and put it on the top as well. Look at that rust from that one salty day that I drove the Suburban through to get here. I don't think that rust was there before. Rust. Rust never sleeps. Junk. I have to scrap it. I'm going to get some coil spring spacers and space my coil springs with 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch spacers that GM used on their air-conditioned cars to boost the front end a little bit. I get that motorcycle carrier. Gonna need a little bit of extra height in the back.